Oh, I get you. I get you. Yeah. You're not supposed to fuck cats on Fridays. Isn't that what it says in the Bible? Not supposed to eat that pussy meat. God damn it. Oh, Atlanta.
What's going on, guys? This is Ashlee Keyton, reporting for duty in the flesh. How art thou? I have 10 questions.
You don't have to speak Old English. 10 questions for atheists, I bet, is what he's going to say.
Questions for atheists.
Why are you saying it like that?
Agnostics. And people who believe in a higher power but don't, for some reason, want to call it God. Here we go. First question. Does objective evil exist?
This is too quiet. I couldn't hear what the fuck he said.
Just waiting on you to answer.
What did he say?
Objective evil exist.
Objective evil? Are you... Okay, this gets really confusing when people start asking, like, what's objective, right? Because objective truths can come from subjective ideas. So if I believe that, like, if I believe in evil, then objective evil exists, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I like to put it this way. Math is based on our subjective agreement that the numbers mean what they do, right? Like, we all agree that this is 2. That's called 2, right? And we all agree that this is 3. Those are subjective ideas that we've all come to, right? Because not every culture throughout history has used the same base 10 number system. But given those subjective truths, then it is objectively true that 2 plus 3 equals 5. You know what I mean? So it's an objective truth that is based on a subjective truth. Do I believe that objective evil exists? What does that even mean? Do I believe that some people are just bad? Or do I believe that there is some sort of, like, qualia called evil that can pervade and go into people and come out of people? Do I believe that some people do bad just because of some evil that exists in the universe? No. But I believe that harm is bad, right? Like, is a volcano erupting evil? I mean, it really, like, hurts people. Is a shark evil? You know? I mean, I guess I gotta say no, because I don't have a solid yes. So it's gotta be no. That's the default, right? So, yeah, this is a very subjective question anyway. What does evil mean? What do you even... I don't even know what you mean by this. Do I think some people are just bad? Not really. Not really. I mean, a lot of people do bad things. And some people do so many bad things so often that I'll call them evil sometimes. But it's just a useful word in certain contexts. I don't think there's like a devil that's making me jerk my little wiener off every night. Do you? Look at him, looking him right in the eyes when I say that. He's got nice eyes.
Just waiting on you to answer the question.
Oh,
Number
you
2.
don't
Can you define objective evil for me? Number 3.
No.
And this one's my favorite. Have you ever honestly tried Jesus? He's all right. We're not talking.
Yes, I have. He's not real. It doesn't do anything. Tried Jesus. Yeah, I tried to believe in that bullshit. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I've been to church. I've had the oil put on my head. The lady next to me fell down on the ground and started quacking like a duck or something. Like she was fucking speaking in gibberish. I don't even want to say speaking in tongues, because when people do that, there's only like 13 different syllables will come out of their mouth. In an actual language, it generally has thousands of different syllables that people will speak. So, I'm getting distracted by chat. Forgot what I was saying. No, yeah, I tried Jesus, and I didn't want to fucking fall down on the ground and flop around like a fish. So, yeah, I tried it. These feel like silly questions. That's right, I'm a silly guy. I like silly questions. This guy seems pleasant, too. I like it better when I catch like an asshole or a fucking weirdo, man. This guy I could probably hang out with.
Talking about the biblical text or Christians, have you ever tried God out sincerely? And I'm not assuming that you haven't. I just want to hear different answers on this to see who has really tried Jesus out. Number 4.
Yeah. You didn't really make it clear what you meant by that, but I'm going to go with yes. Yes, I have. I used to believe deeply in God. I even had my own spiritual experience, my own personal spiritual experience. I think I said in the last one I reacted to just a minute ago that if God came and took me to heaven or whatever, I thought that happened to me once. I'm pretty sure it was just a drug-induced dream that I had at this point, though. It was pretty vivid, though. I remember it like a real event. It didn't feel like a dream. I don't want to go into it now. But yeah, I was pretty fucked up. I was pretty fucked up on drugs. I was doing a lot of drugs, man. And I saw God. I don't even know if it was, I thought it was an angel or an alien or something. I don't want to get into it right now because it's probably something for a story time some other day. But yeah, no, I tried God. And it's not real. Nothing there. My prayers were never answered unless I answered them myself.
What would be, in your view, a better explanation for how the world came to be about? The Big Bang?
Hey, do not try this at home.
Or God? What makes the most sense?
The Big Bang.
Logically.
I don't even have to pause it. The Big Bang does.
Consistently.
The Big Bang. Physics, chemistry. I'm only saying the Big Bang because those are the words he used. I don't generally say the Big Bang is the explanation for everything because the Big Bang is a function of the natural laws. I don't think you understand the Big Bang very well. These people think the Big Bang is like another version of God. The Big Bang was an event that happened at the beginning of time and space, visible universe that we could see. We know it happened. Right? Like if you go to a hill and you're standing at the bottom of the hill and there's a big rock at the bottom of the hill and you look up the trail, up the hill and there's like a trail in the grass about the size of the area of the rock that touches the ground and the trail ends where the rock is and it starts at the top of the hill and then you walk up to the top of the hill and you see like a spot in the ground where maybe a big rock used to be. It's pretty obvious that that rock rolled down that hill, right? You can say that this is where the rock came from. Right? Does that make logical sense to you? Consistently or whatever the fuck you said? Is that logical and consistent? Yes, the laws of physics are very fucking logical and consistent. Everything that exists now is explained very well by the laws of physics, chemistry, evolution, gravity. All this stuff puts everything together the way we see it very nicely. It makes perfect fucking sense. Absolutely. Way more sense than God. God is a completely incoherent idea, and it doesn't even answer the question. Where did God come from? And does God have a mind and make decisions throughout time? Like, does he have time to make decisions? Does he think one thing now and then another thing in a second, and then he makes a decision and changes something about the universe? Well, then he's got like a mind, right? So where did that come from? That doesn't make any sense. I'm not asking you to answer the question. It's rhetorical. I'm saying it doesn't make any fucking sense. Do we know what happened before the Big Bang? No, neither do you. Neither do you. Because if I ask you where God comes from, you're not going to have a good answer because you don't fucking know, right? You could defer to the church authorities, just like I'll defer to experts in physics and cosmology.
Theoretically, cosmologically.
That's what I just said.
Number 5, is believing in God an inconsistent view, or do you just not like it? Number 6.
That's a false dichotomy. I don't like it because I think it's stupid, and I also think it's kind of inconsistent. But I don't think that personally. I don't think that a God belief necessarily makes somebody an irrational person. I just think that they probably haven't thought about it that much. Because like I said, I used to believe in God, and the more I started thinking about it, the more fucking that I didn't. I started hearing other explanations that made way more sense than invisible man who doesn't exist in reality. Right? What if something doesn't exist in reality? That means it's not real.
Do all humans understand morality?
No. I mean, sort of. To a small extent, I think some of it's instinctual. From our evolution, we've evolved to be a social species, right? And they've done like tests on babies and shit where they like see if they share and stuff like that. But you said all humans, so I got to say no, because there are psychopaths and sociopaths. I can't think of the clinical term for that at this time, but yeah, no, that some people just literally don't understand morality. No. And people have different morality, you know? Different morals in different cultures, different families. So no.
The same way? And some just choose to act against that good morality?
Cut him off halfway. So he added the qualifier in the same way. Well, then it's certainly no. Certainly not. Of course not. You and I don't understand morality the same way. Do you think it's moral to kill gay people with rocks? Because I don't. I think that's very immoral. I think it's patently immoral. It's just awful and horrible. And you'd probably agree with me. But what about the people who wrote the Bible? They thought that was cool as fuck. They thought killing people with rocks was the bee's knees, man. They were all about it. They were like, fuck, I'm bored. What are we doing today? Is there going to be a stoning? I got to fucking get a stoning in because I'm bored. Let's go find a witch and burn that ass.
And number 7, how can we know who is right? How can we possibly know who has the correct answer? Number 8, and
observation, experimentation, the scientific method. We can know these things. This is one of the things that kills me about theists, conspiracy theorists, lunatics, wizards, anti-vaxxers, anti-maskers and stuff. All these kind of people who don't have very good critical thinking skills, they think that asking a question is the end of the conversation, when actually sometimes these questions do have answers. Right? You've seen that old meme where it's a video of God creating the universe. You've seen the meme where there's like a 6 or a 9 drawn on the ground, and then there's a guy standing on one side saying it's a 6, and there's a guy standing on the other side saying it's a 9, and then the caption of the meme, the moral of the story is, it's all about perspective. But the thing is, it's not all about perspective. One of those two people is right. Whoever drew that symbol on the ground meant to draw either a 6 or a 9, and we can figure out which one it was. We can take a step back. We can see if there's any other numbers written around it. We can see if we can find out who wrote the number down and ask them. We can see if there's anything else in the area that indicates what side might be the top or the bottom. You know? These questions are not unanswerable. we can find the answers to a lot of shit. It feels like you think the scientists just guess or just go with the accepted narrative, but that's not how science works. There's an accepted narrative because so many scientists have agreed based on the information that this must be the answer. So that's generally how we get the accepted narrative, right? You don't just get one guy to say that the earth is round and then everybody else just listens to him. Tons of different people have come to the conclusion that the earth is a globe based on their own experimentation, and all the evidence points to the same thing. So we can find out who's right or wrong with the scientific method, right? And you, scientism, you believe in science like it's your religion. No, it's not a fucking religion. It's a method by which we come to understand the facts of reality around us. It's a pretty solid method. There may be a better method that people haven't come up with yet, or that we don't know about, but so far, science is pretty good at telling us what isn't real, and it's okay at telling us what is real. We can eliminate possibilities. We can make predictions based on our theories and do experiments and see if our predictions come true. And if they do, we're on the right track. Like Newtonian physics worked really well for a long time until we observed the orbit of Mercury and realized that it didn't really fit in with what Newton said. And so Einstein came up with general relativity. And it may be the case that in the future, general relativity is no longer accepted as the final gravitational theory because it has its own problems. But we can test your claims about God and see that they're all fucking stupid, that they're all bunk, and none of them make any fucking sense at all. So, yeah, we can... Sometimes it's a lot easier to tell who's wrong than to tell who's right. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to necessarily... Like, I don't have to be right to know that you're wrong. You know what I mean? Like, if I hear a big loud bang on the roof, and my kids come in and say, a UFO just landed on the roof, I think it was a UFO that made that noise. I'm going to say, no, you're probably wrong. Even though I don't know what made the noise. I don't have to know what made the noise to know that I don't think it was a UFO. Right? If I hear hoofbeats, I'm not going to think unicorn before I think horse or deer or goat or any other animal that exists.
I know the answer to this question, but I want to know your answer.
Okay.
Does the Bible speak for every person who calls themselves a Christian?
No. The Bible only speaks for Jews.
Let me explain. You have certain people that act ungodly, in my view, and do some things that I would say God never told them to do. That say they're Christian, that believe in the Bible. There was actually something brought up the last time I did 10 Questions for Atheists, and someone responded, and they said that a lot of Christians worked with Hitler, and, a lot of Catholics, and those are not Christians. But that's my view. What would you say?
Why are they not Christians? Do they believe that Jesus lived and died for them and is the one true Savior and ticket into heaven, the truth, the light, and the way? Right? Isn't that all it takes to be a Christian, is you have to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? That's the thing, right? That's all you got to do. So who's a real Christian then? No, someone who's never sinned? Because I'm pretty sure the Bible says that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So, where's the line? That's what I want to know. Where is the line? Because the Bible makes it very clear that we're all going to sin. We're all going to break the rules. We're all going to do stuff that God told us not to do. We're all going to do stuff that God didn't tell us to do, which is a weird bar, by the way. You can't do anything that God didn't. Did God tell you to make this video? You'd probably say yes. The more I watch this guy, I don't know if I would hang out with him or not, because he seems to have this whole condescending thing. I get the impression, though, that maybe it's just for the YouTubes. Maybe he's just doing it for the video, right? But he keeps looking at me like I'm not going to be able to answer his question. These questions are super easy, and I'm giving really long answers to him. I don't have to give these long answers. I can just be like, no.
Let me calm down. Does the Bible speak?
Are you worked up? Is that you all fucking worked up? You better calm down then. Why don't you take a second, drink a Mountain Dew, come back.
For every single Christian? Does every Christian represent the Bible? Not.
Wait. You asked if the Bible speaks for every Christian, not if every Christian speaks for the Bible. What are you fucking talking about? What does that question even mean? I feel like I didn't even understand the question. Oh, well, I already answered it. Too late.
9.
Gotta
Is
move
murder
on.
against the innocent wrong? And why? You could turn all of these questions.
What was that goddamn question again? Mikey, whatever you wrote right before I'm a menace, a 3-letter word got goddamn edited out. It got censored. What did you say? Don't be writing slurs in my chat. I missed the fucking question because I was like
To me, and I don't mind giving my answer, but please do not dismiss the question. Number 10, what is your confirmation and found why? You could turn all single Christian. Does every Christian represent the Bible? 9, is murder against the innocent wrong?
Yes. Yes. What a stupid fucking question. Why would you even ask that? What a fucking ridiculous question. Is murder against the innocent wrong? Murder against the guilty is wrong. All kinds of murder is wrong. Every kind of murder is bad. That's the definition of murder. You know that murder doesn't equal killing someone. But even then, killing people is generally bad. Should I kill somebody to save my own life? If they're the one threatening my life, then yeah, probably. Should I throw somebody in front of a train to save my own life? No. That would be murder against an innocent person, right? So yeah, that's wrong and bad. It goes against our nature. It goes against our best interests. It's not in our best interest as a species to kill each other. And I personally think that life is precious and wonderful, and we should cherish it and not fucking kill people. What is murder against the innocent wrong? Man, you should have led with that question so I knew what kind of attitude to have. This is fucking stupid. Holy shit. What do you think I'm gonna say? Ashlee Keyton, what the fuck do you think I'm gonna say when you ask me if murder against the innocent is wrong? You think I'm gonna be like, meh, I don't care. You know, the only time I've ever heard anybody argue that murder against the innocent was wrong or not wrong is religious people. All kinds of religions. Christians. Was Jesus innocent? Was he murdered? Was that wrong? I mean, you'd probably say it was bad, but was it wrong? Or was it exactly according to God's plan and what needed to happen? You're the one that thinks that murdering innocent people is wrong. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's a whole fucking speech about how killing somebody is basically the same as popping a balloon. They didn't use that analogy because I don't think they had rubber balloons back then. But they're just saying, yeah, it don't matter. You kill somebody, they just go back to Brahma or whatever. So, you know, the universal source of life. When I was a religious person, I wouldn't have killed somebody to save my own life because I thought that killing people in any context was bad. So you got these whole different this whole spectrum of religious people thinking that it's either never okay to kill someone or that it doesn't really matter if you kill someone because they're just going to go to heaven and everybody goes to heaven anyway. We'll get fucking Karlin Borisenko on this ass. I'm not gonna say anything more than that because that'll get me in trouble. I am flabbergasted by that fucking question. I wish I could talk to this guy and pick his brain. Maybe he'll explain a little bit more.
And why? You could turn all of these questions to me, and I don't mind giving my answer. But please do not dismiss the question. Number 10, what is your confirmation and foundation for truth?
What is my confirmation and foundation for truth? What's yours? The very fact that you use the word confirmation makes me think that you just think that God is the final say on whatever's true or whatever the Bible. Like, I don't have a confirmation for all of truth. My foundation for truth is basically the scientific method. I mean, obviously I don't want to apply the scientific method to every single thing. What does that even mean? What is my confirmation and foundation for truth? I assume you mean as opposed to God, because I don't have a God in my life. How could I know what's true? And that's completely nonsensical, because God isn't real. And you don't seem to have any confirmation or foundation for truth. You seem to have a confirmation bias about what you want to be true. So, yeah, but no, I don't really have that. I don't do that. I like to just go with what the evidence shows. Again, like if the rock rolled down the hill and somebody else came and told me that they threw the rock from the other side of the lake and it landed there, I probably wouldn't believe them, you know? But if they told me they pushed the rock down the hill from the top, then I probably would believe them. Even without evidence that they actually did it, I would just go, okay, you know, why not take them at their word at that point? All the evidence that I can see agrees with the claim that they're making, so I had no problem believing them. But I don't need the Bible. Like, do you believe the shit in the Bible? That's so fucking absurd. You really take that shit seriously? You believe that shit? That's fucking ridiculous. What good does that do anybody? The video's over.